I'm Harry.
I'm Richard.
Welcome to Dead Decks.
Yeah, welcome.
Dead Decks.
Yeah, buddy.
So,
what we talking about?
today we're talking about how sports and CCGs just haven't figured out how to be friends.
Yeah, they don't get along.
You know, sports cards have been around since mid or late 1800s, 1880s. The first baseball cards, I think. Trading card games, CCGs, have been around since early 90s, 93. And there's been many attempts to try to marry the two, and none of them succeeded. And we just found that to be kind of curious, because sports lends so nicely to the trading card genre. You got stats, you got things things you have to do to win the game, already built in. You don't have to do anything. All you can do is just put that shit on a card.
Yeah, you got your mechanics already. They've already been designed for you. I mean, you have to translate them to cards, but
that's
you got a core rule set.
Yeah.
Shit's already handed to you, and yeah, they don't stop trying.
Mm-hmm. And what got us thinking about this is, once again, hockey. It's been one of our favorites on this channel, is the playoff one-on-one hockey challenge, and we both thought that the game was very well designed, translated very well to a trading card game, and we were curious why the fuck did it just die? Because it did. It just fucking died. There was one expansion that nobody can fucking find.
Yeah.
And I think they just kind of hastily threw that out, probably very closely to the original base set, because
yeah,
what we've seen, they're kind of packaged together. And then it was gone. Now, some of that might have been, I think Pinnacle may have gone out of business or something. I don't fucking know. Yeah, it was a big mess there in the mid-90s in the sports card world. There wasn't even another one attempted. Well, there was Red Zone came out, and there was another Donruss one, baseball, top of the order, kind of. I'm not certain that those were licensed officially.
Yeah, we don't know exactly if they had a full...
They may have player license, but not necessarily Major League Baseball or NFL license. Regardless, it was attempted again, relatively close to the same time hockey was. They didn't last very long, and we haven't got to those yet. We have some Red Zone we're going to get into at some point. We'll probably try to find some top of the order, because I do like baseball anyway. But those didn't last very long, as far as we can tell. And then it wasn't attempted again until 2000?
Yeah, Showdown.
Yeah. Which
is, at least has a cult following now, but
yeah.
I don't think it had a following at first.
And that was Wizards of the Coast, Magic fame, Magic the Gathering. So they at least had the name, the card name, or the card company. They had, if any company was going to be able to do it, it'd been Wizards.
Yeah.
And I think MLB Showdown lasted for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, at least one expansion, maybe two. I should have had that in front of me, but I don't.
Yeah, we're well prepared as usual. Mm-hmm. We put lots of times and efforts into this game.
Yeah, time.
Videos.
We sit around.
Yeah. And they made a football and basketball one.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years later.
Yep, all named Showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they lasted very long either.
No.
And they missed key rookie years of a lot of players, which was unfortunate for them. I mean, I guess now it probably would have made a difference then, but it would have been now on the sports card world. And as far as the baseball side, some of those cards have, especially if they're graded, has some decent value to them still. Because there were some chase cards, full cards, rare cards, all that good shit that were pretty hard to come by. And so people kind of collect them now, more of as a trading card, sports card kind of a deal.
Yeah.
But the games just never took off. And I mean, even today, Panini, the big player in basketball and football cards, has tried at least a couple of times to resurrect the CCG aspect of it, and they keep fucking failing. NFL 5 still may be going on. We're not entirely sure.
I think it's alive.
We think it is. NBA Adrenaline. The only thing I could find on that shit was that soccer. So I don't know if it translated. I don't know if it moved from being basketball to soccer. It's kind of hard to, even with today's modern internet, to find a lot of information about it. But I know I've seen a couple of Job Morants, and that was a couple years ago, so it was still being made, and at least the near past.
Yeah.
But if you go looking for it, you're just not going to find a lot of information about it. And I just find that odd, you know.
Yeah, even with far back as hockey, the only people I find now are hockey fans. I'm trying to trade with people online, and they're the only people that have ever heard of it, huge in hockey. But not so much CCG fans as much as hockey fans.
Yeah, I think they've become just sports cards.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know, completists want every card of a certain player ever made, so they go grab those too, but they're not grabbing them to play the game.
And good luck completing that shit.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you? We talked about the mechanics that they should translate very, very fucking well, because it's already there.
Yeah. You have points, you got a scoring system, you've got rules, what you can and can't do. Yeah, shouldn't be that damn hard. And it isn't from...
Yeah, throw the ball, you hit the ball,
yeah.
you run.
You can add a randomized component. Some of them have dice, some don't. A lot of them do have dice, just to add some. You never know how a sports game is going to turn out.
And the vast majority have been licensed, so they have actual players, they have teams, you know, everything's already fucking there.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think would be key to these working is it functions like a trading card, but almost all of them seem to. So they've got that part where they're highlighting the sports player, they've got the picture of them. It looks like a trading card with a couple of stats. There's a few exceptions. There's some weird ones they've made that are fantasy, not licensed.
Yeah. We're not really including those. We're not including, you know, wrestling or even soccer to most part, because we don't care about soccer.
And those racing, but yeah.
We're red-blooded Americans. We don't give a fuck about soccer. And we're not including, racing or NASCAR or any of that shit. You know,
Yeah.
It's talking about the main 3 or 4 sports.
Yeah.
Baseball, football, basketball, hockey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main ones. So yeah, I mean, I like the fantasy ones probably more, but I'm more of that kind of shit anyway. But
which gets us to that next point. I think the problem is the common demographics are not there. You know, your trading card people and your sports card people are 2 different worlds, and they don't meet up enough in the middle to keep a trading card game going. Your sports guys don't mind an extra card to throw in their collection, but a trading card, collectible card game player, they don't give a fuck about sports. So
yeah,
trying to marry the two and keep them alive, you know, nobody's figured out a way to make it work. And I don't know that they're going to.
No. I mean, I'm pretty determined on the whole to like a card game based on mechanics alone, but that's really hard to do, to completely ignore the property and the theme. That's difficult. I'm not going to play My Little Pony. I don't care how awesome the mechanics are. I ain't playing it.
That's fair. And if you're, you know, you're bored sports, then you're not going to fucking want to play MLB Showdown or playoff hockey. It's not going to do anything for you. You're not going to get the game might work. And for us, it does, and we actually enjoy it, even though he doesn't fucking like sports.
I don't give a shit, but they don't bother me. I don't mind the theme. It's just kind of ancillary to that. It's there, whatever.
Yeah.
It's hockey. But I like the flow of the mechanics. I like the gameplay. Yeah. But yeah, if I really hated the property and the theme, I probably wouldn't touch it.
My Little Pony.
My Little Pony. Yeah.
American Idol.
Yeah. Definitely American Idol. Wouldn't touch it long enough to tear that shit up.
Anyway, I mean, the whole point of this video is we just wanted to talk a little bit about why sports and trading card games just haven't fucking worked. And I think it just boils down to that there's 2 different worlds, and trying to combine those is going to be a very hard task.
That's the only logical conclusion. And you know, probably the only reason they try so often is because they have the fucking license.
Yeah, they got the license, and they, you know, it's like, well, fuck, we can make another product. We've already got the printing press going.
Yeah, cards are cheap.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a big investment. Send some guys in the room, have them crank out some rules, and we can have this shit being printed out.
Yeah, fuck the trees, man.
So, yeah, who cares about the history? They may even make money on these that only last a year or 2.
Yeah.
It might not even be a loss. I don't know.
And, you know, as I mentioned, there's still a collectability factor to some of these. So even once they're long dead, and if the problem that I've seen so far on a lot of these is they didn't actually, I mentioned this, they didn't hit key rookie years for a lot of players. if it hit some of these key rookie years, LeBron James or a Tom Brady or something, holy shit, some of those cards would be worth tons of money.
Yeah.
And it would probably be enough for them to want to circle back around. And they keep trying. It's just, it's just not, it's not going to work, I don't think.
Yeah, you would think one of them would just crank rookies or something.
Yeah. And they have. I mean, I have in my personal collection, personal collection for sale, I have some Adrenaline basketball that features Ja Morant, and that was 2 years ago. Nobody fucking wants that shit. I mean, if you got a PSA 10, yeah, you'll get $100 for it, but, a Prism is $800. Same company, just one has, fake stats on it. It gives them abilities or whatever. So.
Yeah. Yep, so we don't, I'm curious if anybody else has an opinion, but I don't know what else it could be. It makes sense why they try, because it's a cheap investment. And it makes sense why it doesn't work, because I don't think those are the same groups.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's about all we got on that.
Well, how'd we do then?
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, buddy.